Hi guys, so on Thursday morning we heard the news from an unidentified Labour source that the UK government was planning negotiations with the EU to introduce a very limited policy of freer movement for people aged between 18 and 30 for 4 years. By midday, the government had rejected the idea. I won't go into why I think that happened, but even though the plan was either non-existent or binned, Brexiteers cried foul. Here, former MP Andrea Jenkyns, who still supports Brexit, believes what happened on Thursday was just another example of Keir Starmer wanting to drag Britain back into the EU via the back door. Whatever that even means. Have a listen.
I'm damn sure they will, particularly in the hospitality business. I mean, I think one of the good things about, there were a lot of good things about the EU is the fact that people under the age of 30 could work, not just a gap year. We're talking about people actually going to work for a couple of years, in Germany or France or Italy. And the other way around, you saw a lot of people working in our restaurants and cafes. However, can I just debunk the conspiracy theorists? That is in no way is this a cunning backdoor way to re-enter the European Union.
No way? How do you know that?
Because I've listened to Keir Starmer time and time again saying we respect the wishes of 51%.
He wants a closer deal with Europe, jolly well, and that might mean any number of things.
Chopper, what it does mean, I hope, is that it means that we can actually work with the French on stopping the migrants coming over. We need to actually get on with our biggest neighbours. We need to get on with the French. We're not going to get into bed with them, but we do need to get on with them.
Dame Andrea Jenkyns, is this a betrayal or the beginning of a betrayal of Brexit if they go ahead with a plan for the under-30s?
It certainly is. Look, I like you, Stephen, but the fact that you believe what Keir Starmer's saying, I certainly don't. He's always wanted to go back into the EU, and it will use SIs, statutory instruments, will use whatever measures possible to go in through the back door. And what we'll see as well, Chris, is that because there's a major youth unemployment problem in Europe, people are going to flock here.
Stephen, are you relaxed about that?
The difficult thing is it's impossible to hate Andrea Jenkyns, and
No, it's not. It's quite easy, because she's a charlatan.
I've tried.
No one hates anyone on this show.
But it doesn't. But look, I have to say that there are certain people who see everything through the prism of June 2016. This is not about Brexit. This is about being adult and grown up and getting on with our neighbours. And as far as I'm concerned, if I can have somebody down the Spoons who speaks Italian, all well and good, as long as we have somebody in Italy who speaks Northolt.
Okay. Andrea Jenkyns has no solutions. We know that because of the ending of freedom of movement as a direct result of Brexit, that Britain has a shortage of workers. So it would make sense, and an adult government would say, we need workers. So let's work out an agreement with the European Union to allow young people to come to Britain, to work in sectors that are crying out for staff. This is not undoing Brexit by the back door. Because you know who will undo Brexit? The European Union. Keir Starmer can't undo Brexit. The British people can't undo Brexit. The only people who can is the European Union. Because they will say, at the end of the day, whether the UK or whatever's left of it in a number of years, only the UK can rejoin, whether the UK can rejoin or not, or join, whatever the right terminology is. It will be the European Union. So Keir Starmer can't undo Brexit. Now, what he can do is have a better relationship with the European Union. But this is something that Brexiteers were talking about. Nigel Farage even. Boris Johnson, Jacob Rees-Mogg had said Brexit isn't about antagonising Europe. It's about having a good relationship with our neighbours. We just want to be out of the club, but we want to have a good relationship with the club. Then how is what Starmer is doing, or well, maybe not doing, a problem then? He's saying we want to have a good relationship with Europe, for example, when it comes to immigration, dealing with the small boats. We want to have a good relationship when it comes to trade. See, the Brexiteers like Andrea Jenkyns are not actually putting forward any solutions. There's a massive shortage of workers. What is your solution? Well, let's train up our own. But you can't train up your own. Well, let's force people off benefits. Do you want to force people who are on benefits into the care sector who don't want to do those jobs? So the Brexiteers like Jenkyns either are not presenting any real solutions or just not saying anything. When it comes to trade, what is Andrea Jenkyns saying about bringing down barriers to trade? Oh, let's just trade with the US, or let's just trade with Asia, which shows a complete lack of understanding of how trade works. You trade mainly with your neighbours. What is she doing to facilitate, or suggesting to facilitate trade with the European Union? Nothing. She supports barriers to trade. So these people are not interested in providing solutions. They're just interested in sniping from the sidelines. Once again, Keir Starmer can't drag Britain back into the European Union. It will be the European Union's decision whether the UK rejoins. Now, when it comes to what happens in Britain, maybe there will be another referendum. Maybe Parliament will decide. But that will be democratically elected Parliament, and that will be a referendum where people vote. Now, once again, I keep saying I'm against the idea of a referendum because most people don't understand what leaving the European Union actually meant, and people will not understand what rejoining the European Union will require. It's better that Parliament do it. An elected Parliament where you have MPs, earning £90,000 a year to understand these issues. But Andrea Jenkyns and Brexiteers are not interested in fixing the problems that they've created or allowing others to do so. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.